Hey guys, happy Friday morning, everybody. Um, I want to read a little bit out of Dr. A's Habits of Health book this morning. So if you're a client of the program, you know which book I'm talking about, the Habits of Health book. More specifically, it's going to be page number 92. Um, it says, is anything in life more important than health? When people realize that they are dangerously ill, the answer to that question becomes crystal clear. So think about that for a minute. A lot of us don't focus on things in our life until it becomes a problem or it's a pain point, if you will. So then he goes on to say the fundamental choice of optimal health and well being. Today, whatever your circumstances may be, you can make a profound fundamental choice for optimal health. Begin by asking yourself this question: do I want to be optimally healthy? Most likely the answer is yes. And then he says, notice that I didn't ask you that if you thought you could be optimally healthy. I asked whether if you could have it, would you take it? So go back to that question again. Do I want to be optimally healthy? If you could have it, would you take it? And so anyway, he goes on here to describe about his work with the Cleveland Clinic and setting up some examples. But, he ultimately gets to a point where, so if you're in a situation where maybe you've had a mild heart attack or you've been diagnosed pre-diabetic, and you've had that scare, whatever that scare is, that health scare or that awakening, for me, it was stepping on the scale 5 years ago and seeing 283 pounds and going, oof, you're only 17 pounds from 300. Is that really where you want to go? Your family needs you, your kids need you, and, there's a lot of people that you're helping that need you. And so I just stepped away from that and I said, okay, I've got to make these foundational changes. I'm not sure how to do this or where to go, but I'm going to start somewhere. So with that said, Dr. A says toward the end of this, when you discover that you had that aha moment, it says, I hope you have decided that optimal health is your fundamental choice. Once you've made that choice, you simply need to arrange your primary and secondary choices to make it happen. Sounds simple? It really is. And so then it goes on to say, our task now is to review the fundamental categories that support optimal health and well-being, i.e. our macro habits. And, so if you're not familiar with those 6 macro habits, of course, they're on page 64 in your Habits of Health book. Habits of healthy weight management, habits of healthy eating and hydration, habits of healthy motion, habits of healthy sleep, habits of healthy mind, and habits of healthy surroundings. And you may sit there and you may be listening to this video and you're going, yeah, I know how to eat and I know how to drink my water and I'm getting good sleep. But maybe a couple of those areas, there's some improvement that needs to be made. And guys, one of them, this could be hard to hear, could be your environment. And we'll dive into that another day. But if you're not truly tapping in and making some structural changes, some primary choice and secondary choice changes in each one of those categories, then if you can't use, if you start raising each ship with the tide, they all eventually start coming up. But if one of the ships starts taking on water, then it could drag down another one, drag down another one, drag down another one. And that's where folks do this yo-yo diet cycle comes from. So our task now is to review the fundamental categories that support optimal health and well-being, our macro habits, of course. Understand the roles of primary choices as core habits of health in each category. And then understand the role of secondary choices, i.e. the steps that will inform and support those primary habit goals. And then use our knowledge of choices to understand and begin to build skills in self-efficacy through the process of habit formation. Now, that could be a new word to some of you, but self-efficacy means it's appealing to you, you want to do it, and you're open and curious on how to do it. And if you've got your reasons written down from element 1, why you want to be here, you've now got your reasons and you've got your how. You've got the motivation and you've got the willingness. And now you just need to learn which habits to focus on and point your finger at 1 or 2 at a time and work with your coach and say, hey, I'm looking to work on sleep this week. How do I get better sleep? And if you're not sure, there's an element in the book on sleep, but also you got reference material in your Habits of Health. But dive in with your coach and just say, hey, you got any great tips for healthy sleep? And so this is where you start taking ownership and self-efficacy, meaning you are in charge of your health journey, not your coach. We're here to help and guide you. And so just keep that in mind. And I hope this morning pikes your interest a little bit and it causes you to be a little open and curious. And, next week we're going to dive into element 4. And element 4 is, all about controlling your emotions and staying out of that drama triangle. And for a lot of folks, it's just saying the word, I can't do this, or I can't do that because of nausea. I can't do this because I get constipated. You fill in the narrative. I just use those as a couple of examples. So with that said, you guys have a great weekend. Remember this, in this health journey, you have to surround yourself with people who are on fire. Because if they're on fire, they raise your internal temperature and catch you on fire as well in your health journey. And the only thing you can do is go up from there and squeeze yourself up and move through this process and come out on the other side a better person. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.